Whoops, it's not. Are we here? There we are. Sometimes spirit like ekes us in, doesn't really just bring us correctly in. Anyway, I am so happy to be here today with Kevin, the healer medium. Oh my God, I just am. This is so exciting. So, yes, I remember finding you on The Nasty Women.
Yeah.
And seeing you there with them. And I'm like, who is this handsome guy? What's going on with him? And it was so wonderful to watch you read with them. So, we all wanted to encourage you to get a channel. And as you told me earlier, backstage, you just had to wait for the right time, and the right time came finally for you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
wonderful. I'm so glad you're here. We've already got people posting some questions. I'm just going
Amazing.
to ask them a couple of questions and then we'll go right into it, because I know you want to hear from him. But everybody's welcoming you here and they're all excited.
No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure.
I'm teasing.
No pressure. Okay. So, how long has this been going on? Did you wake up to your gifts when you were like a teenager or something, or was it later in your life?
Yeah. I always felt different.
Okay.
And I think from earliest childhood memory, I had knowings or awareness of things that kind of surprised the adults around me. And, I still struggle. I'll be totally honest with you. I still struggle with hearing it as gifts. And although I understand it, what I've come to learn is that we all have these abilities.
We do.
And they can be very, very similar, and they can be very, very different. And the gift part of it comes when we do things like this, when we're in community and we're in the conversation and the sharing and the camaraderie of that and celebrating each other. That feels like the gift part. And so I feel like I've always known that in myself. And I hope that everybody else recognizes that, however that looks in themselves. Yeah.
Right.
You get that, don't you?
Yeah, I do get it. I get it completely. Sometimes I think, if I wasn't doing this, who would I be? Because I've gotten to the point where I depend on the community to give me feedback and to give me my spiritual, sustenance, I guess.
Yeah.
Just as much as I do people that come on with me, or others that look at this later on that may not have been in the live chat, but come back and take a look again. So I know that's beautiful. I just love the way you explained that. And I think you're right. We all have gifts, and they all look different, and they all can change. Don't you think? I mean, you can morph from one type of thing to another type of thing. Yeah.
And that's the thing, in reflection of where I am right now and how I kind of got here. It wasn't how I thought it was going to be. And it was some of the greatest teachings came from people or experiences and different circumstances. But what came out of it was like this understanding deeper of who I was, and what I always wanted to do was be an impact in a positive way and make a difference for other people. And so stepping into this, as I got more confidence and the trust deepened, I realized that, and we were just talking about this, stepping into it in a way that I'm really being seen. It took something for me. And in fact, coming out as a gay man was a heck of a lot easier than it was coming out. I kid you not. It was so much easier than actually sharing this with people and my world and my friends and all of that. Yeah, it was fascinating.
It is.
But I guess work-wise, because I look at it as I say work, when I say work, it's like I feel so blessed in the exchange of doing readings and being that medium for people. But I look at it only work in the sense of like the ethic and the integrity that I bring to it, because I feel like it doesn't feel like work. but I
No, I
don't.
understand. Yeah, it's coming
Yeah.
through you as well. It's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you're a channel for it. So it's a gift. That's why I think it's a gift. And I
Yeah.
guess we have to just say to ourselves, it's the same thing with the cards, the same thing with any other
Hmm.
form, that it's an attempt to make understanding and to make people be aware of those things that are around them
Hmm.
all the time that they may not even realize. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I love that.
Uh-huh. It was the same for Scott, he says. It was easier to come out as gay than a tarot
Yes.
reader. Yeah.
Yes.
That's fascinating to
It
me.
is
That really
fascinating, and
is.
I've heard it many, many times from lots of
Really?
colleagues and stuff.
Okay.
And they've
Wow.
said very, very similar. There's that, like, not everybody's going to subscribe to it,
Right.
and that's okay. So I think, the
Yeah.
confidence part of it, it takes something to be seen
Yes.
in that way. So,
And for me, it took me a while because when you're a
mm,
professional teacher, instructor slash whatever, you have this sort of hat that you wear, and then you also believe in all this other stuff, and always have believed
mhm,
in it. But now
mhm,
you're bringing it to the mainstream, so to speak, and you are taking a chance that people will say, who's that? She
yeah,
doesn't, and I don't care anymore. And that
yeah,
that came from, for me, it came from age and experience and wisdom. And it wasn't because, I don't know that I could have done it 20 years ago. And
right, yeah,
and actually they say back in about 2015 that people were doing card readings and other things on YouTube, and they were pushed right out. They weren't able to
oh,
do what they wanted to do at that time. People were making judgments, and there were lots of problems with it. So
wow,
I think that it's all about timing.
hmm,
Definitely all about timing. Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, I'm happy as hell you're here, and that you that you have your gifts, and that you do what you do, because we need people like you, and you're so
Hmm.
positive and everything. It's really wonderful. So
Yeah.
that's great.
I was
That's
thinking about what you said earlier about like the community, and I'm sure you can relate to the it's the recharge, because it takes something. And I think some
yes.
people, I'll speak for myself, that when I'm in the flow and working with clients, for mediumship or psychic readings or healings,
Uh-huh.
all of that, I get such recharge from it.
That you do.
Being in that, it's something that I think, and for some people, maybe they get exhausted from it or this.
You
I
can
don't.
that too. You don't. You
I
get
get
charged
it.
up. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I get the
Uh-huh.
refuel. It's very similar to me as being in and a part of the community, that I get that
Wow.
recharge as well. And it's not to
And you
say,
don't get that when you're cutting hair. You don't get the recharge cutting hair. But here's my really weird question. Have you ever been doing somebody's hair and gotten
mm,
impressions and didn't know what to do about it? Yeah,
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, this is my 22nd year in doing hair. And
Okay,
so I was very disciplined I did everything involved with hair and all the different things that you could do, but I
sure.
kept this part of it completely separate.
Hmm.
I didn't
Hmm.
share with any, like maybe one or two people in the beginning.
Right.
And then I would say around 7 or 8 years ago, that all started to change, and how these people were showing up. They were looking for more than just a haircut. They were looking for a connection. They were looking to have conversations. And I don't think there was any mistake in the people that ended up in my chair. And what I
Right.
started to
Oh no.
find
Uh-huh.
was I was getting more and more things. And it got to a point where I fought it, because I was
Uh-huh.
like,
Sure. You
Kevin,
had to
you're here to
separate
do
it.
the
Yeah.
haircut. I
Uh-huh.
did.
Yeah.
And then the I guess the repetition and the frequency of how often those impressions were coming, I started to kind of test the water, and people were just like,
Blown
I
away.
I would say they were just so open to it, and they were like
Oh, okay.
sharing their own experiences, and it was just this whole new conversation. And now it's like I've got a couple of clients that have kind of made it clear that they're just not interested, but they still
Sure.
see me. I haven't lost anybody,
Right.
but
Some people don't want to or don't believe in it, but
yeah.
there's something healing anyway. When you go to the hairdresser, we
Mm,
tell our hairdresser a hell of a lot of things that we probably don't need to be telling you. And I know that's the truth because I've done it and I've heard it. But there is an intimate connection. There really
mhm,
is. And then you've got
mhm.
that intimate connection as well with knowing them and their energy, because you're right in their energy. So there has to be something going
Yes.
on there. But I
Yeah.
imagine there are people that aren't interested in knowing, even if you have something that you might want to share. And that
Yeah.
that's good, because they only need to tell you and you won't. Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing. We're one of the few professions that we have the license to actually put our hands on people.
That's right.
And we do it without even getting permission. You sit down in someone's chair and they're touching your head. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
And so
Yes.
that energetically, what that opens up, it
Yes.
just, we're all in
Especially the
the,
head. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
the need for that human contact. So in it, it doesn't surprise me that the things that come through, um, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh no. Yeah.
it's
My husband
fascinating.
feels it too. He's not a medium, but he's a chiropractor, and he's another
Oh,
person that
okay.
can touch. And
Mm.
actually, he's ended up putting his table right in front of the front window. So because of all the craziness that people, you know,
Okay.
so he's right out there in
Interesting.
the open with them, but he can feel it. He knows exactly where their issues are. It's very
Right.
interesting to watch. But you're right. There are not many professions that allow that intimate touch,
Yeah.
except for hairdressers, chiropractors, massage therapists. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless
Your
it's a
doctors,
doctor.
your dent.
Yeah.
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 But,
Wow.
mhm.
Well, all right. I think we're going to ask some questions here
I love
because
it.
I see people getting excited. So let's do it. We have Colleen
Wonderful.
McSpirit here. If you have a message from nephew Polly for his mom and daughter.
Hmm. Kevin, I'm asking for a message from my nephew Polly, for his mom and daughter. I think I understand that as
Okay.
right.
Yep.
So it would be your sister, I'm guessing, or sister-in-law.
Sister or sister-in-law. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Colleen, would you understand it was quick? I feel like it was here 1 minute and then like that card jumped out. It was quick. Yeah. March and November. Highlighting the month of March and highlighting the month of November. I'm also hearing a D name, Dave or David, Daniel, but D name, male as well. And however comfortable you are in answering, I'm not asking for all the details, but what I'm being made aware of is, of course, the struggle, and an element of, I'm going to use this word because this is what I'm hearing, is forgiveness around it, especially around mom. So I don't know if there was, it feels like there was a, I'll just keep it at that. I just feel like there was this, this feeling of some forgiveness that he's recognizing around mom for her. So just the feeling that there might be something there, that there's some guilt around. And so just addressing that, yeah, it's a hard one because it's one of those things where, we all have our life contract and there's certain times where there's exit points. And yes, that's very difficult, and not to diminish that in any way, but that it was his time to go. And in that, I just feel like there's a bit of guilt on mom. And so I'm curious if you would understand that. But he comes through with that, they don't sit in the upset or the the emotion that we do humanly, what they bring the feeling of the emotion for is for their benefit. So he did mention the forgiveness. And so that feels like part of the message that he would want you to relay.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Again, the month of November. November is important. Okay, so I just pulled a few cards just for the visual and the clarity. I pulled the abundance card, and I pulled the inner peace card. And it's not to say that this isn't for his daughter as well, but I feel I'm just more tuned into mom's energy, and with that, I feel like he's just wanting her to continue. So the feeling I get around it is okay, thank you. The abundance. There is so much joy to still be had in life, and there's such a full life, and he's encouraging mom to step into that and to find the inner peace. And that's so difficult. I will outframe and say I'm not a parent and I'm not a mother, so that bond is so intimate, and in that there's still ability for her to have the abundance in life and not to feel like it's there's any guilt around the joy that she experiences and the inner peace. So yeah, that's what
I have
I
a
will leave you
question
with.
about exit points with you. When I just want to tell you that I
Sure.
pulled this card, Dancer, and at its movement. This is one of the
Yeah.
ancestor cards that I have, and I'm getting a lot of move on. Move, like you
Yeah.
said, he's not in that energy, so he's like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, move on. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk about, or do you feel you have some thing to tell us about exit points? Because I've heard that we have probably more than one or two. We have several timelines that may be an exit point for us. Is that what your understanding is? Or
Yeah, and here's the thing that when I share things like that, it is more about, and I consistently, because I do a lot of readings, and spirit teaches me, and so when I share things like this, it just comes from from the spirit world, and so in that, how I've been made to over and over and over again feel around our life course is, yes, there are different times when it can look very different. We have, it's almost like, but we know that. And so we know that we've signed up to 3 potential times, perhaps, that we have, and in it, I believe in miracles. I don't actually, I go further than that. I know that miracles exist, and I know that we have our own free will. So in that, yes, the course of our life can look different. However, in the big blueprint of things, I do feel it's divine, that there still is that, master plan, if you will. And in the reflection of it, and that's where spirit, after we pass over, we continue life. And that's the thing that people, we
people
call
don't
it things
realize
like,
that.
we call it things like death and the end, and they like all of this. And I like to call it that, that there's life after life. And I'm sure we've all heard it.
Yes, I agree. And not to be afraid. Not to be afraid. Yeah. I think that somebody once said, and once you know how to, once you don't worry about dying, you can really live.
Right.
And so, I really do think so. And so, yes, I would imagine there would be different timelines. If this potentially happens, this could happen. If this doesn't, or if you decide to change your course or whatever it is, you may stay longer or whatever. But, that's great.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It is fascinating. Thank you, Colleen. I hope that helped you. I'm glad to see that the November did resonate. And Give your
Yeah.
give your sister or sister-in-law a big hug from us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. The loss of a
It is.
child. My
Definitely.
goodness.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Yep. Thank you so much. All right. All right. So next we have Kathleen Lightworker, Katie. It's good to see you, Katie. You're the first one that's asked to talk to a dad today. I love it.
I love it.
In teens, we didn't have
Mhm.
any. You haven't tried because it was a painful, okay. And you're
Yeah.
afraid of being overwhelmed. I feel I'm over the grief yet still. Honey, I don't
Wow.
know. It doesn't really always go completely away, but we're holding you in comfort and hope that
Yeah.
the message will come through that you need to hear. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you, everybody who's here. I'm not calling any names out, but I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for sharing time with us today. Yeah.
The cards are moving out. I don't know what, I have to say this. First of all, I saw a chessboard in front of me. Chess, I think it's chess or checkers, but like, I'm going to say chessboard.
Like
So I don't know if you would understand that. And sorry,
Katie, if that
Kathleen.
makes any sense. Yeah, that makes sense, Katie.
And I just want to acknowledge it takes something. It takes something to, I mean, I think, what am I trying to say here? And this is just friend to friend. It takes something to ask these questions. And the timing of it is always in our own timing, and how that looks, there's no judgment. And so the loss of a parent, the loss of your father, like the impact of that will always be there. And you know, like that's something that I mean, it goes without saying, like loss and grief, it's something that none of us are separate from. And
Correct.
in it just looks as personal as it needs to be. But I commend you, and I acknowledge that you're asking the question. It takes something.
So she said that her dad and her played a game called Generals that looked like a chessboard.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And the reason why I throw some of those things out before we go into the messaging, I just want people to understand is I need to be, because I'm a tough one. I'm really skeptical. And so I need to actually make sure that I have a link
The right
with
person.
the correct person
Sure.
before I go into the messaging. So in case people are like, why is he not just, that's why.
No. Oh, and this is not an easy thing to do. And Katie is a budding medium. And so she knows exactly. She knows exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did I say the month of December?
You did.
Thanks, Ellie. The month of December. Okay, so going into the message part, as I feel into your dad's energy, it's like I feel he was quite knowledgeable, and he knew a lot of stuff about certain things. And in that, it's like he's giving me the impression or the feeling that sometimes when we're dealing with things, we can do this to ourselves. So he put his hand in front of my eyes, and I was like, why are you doing this? And it's almost like sometimes we can self-sabotage, is what he's saying, around certain things. It's like, you know, and so he's inviting you to remove your own hand, to see things in the loving capacity that you are, to see things from, you know, just the fullness of what they are, and to really, he's saying, allow yourself that, you know, things are not always as we'd hope for them to be, or the way that we would want them to look. And that's okay, he's saying. It's like, it just feels like he's got this, and he does, this higher view of things. And he's making me feel that, to pass that on to you, that he wants you to take a higher view. He's saying higher view of things. So I don't know how this relates to what you're currently experiencing, but at the end of it, he wants he wants you to willingly release. So I don't know if there's just some things that are not serving you that you might be, but willing to release, he said.
I got the chills. Wow.
Oh,
I did.
yeah. And why is he showing me elephants? Why is he showing me elephants? You know, when two elephants and they've got like their trunks, like, or
Yes.
yeah, trunk to trunk. That's what he's showing me. So I don't know if you connect with the elephant, but if not, perhaps look at, it might just be the invite to look for the elephant totem medicine, because the animals will bring such, so much medicine, and there's some particular aspect about the linking together. And I think that this will tie into what he was saying. But yes, I will leave you with that. Thank you for your question.
That is beautiful, Kevin. Wow.
Kathleen,
Yeah.
Did you call her Katie?
Yeah, you can call her Katie.
Okay, Kate. Okay, got it.
Look I didn't pull this card. I want to say that first, but it's like this, right?
Oh, yes.
I did not pull it, but I remembered this card, and that's exactly what you were talking about. So I love that. That's beautiful.
Wow. And was that number 22?
Number 22. Yeah. Yep.
That's so beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. Kathleen, I pulled taking a vow. Taking a vow. Okay. I feel like you have taken a vow because you are making yourself open to a lot more than you were before. And that you are working toward wholeness and completion, and everything is bearing fruit for you and will continue to bear fruit. I think your father knows that. Yeah. I hope that resonated with you, Kathleen. Thank you for asking the question, and I hope you're okay, because we love you.
Oh, and he transitioned in December. Oh,
December 19th. Yeah. So
when
December.
I'll be honest, I never, unless you say, I never read I shouldn't say never. I rarely read the comments, because when I'm in it, I can't.
I understand.
So if I'm reading afterwards,
Isn't that great? I mean, it is great. I just wanted you to see that it.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
She says, thank you. It means so much.
Oh, Kathleen, of course.
Yeah. I'm sorry you lost your dad, honey.
And happy Father's Day.
That's right.
We can still wish them happy Father's Day here in the world we call unseen. It's still happy Father's Day. So
it is.
We celebrate your dad.
I've been thinking about my dad all day long. I just love my dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Nice.
So Kathy wonders if her late husband, Allie, has any encouragement for her. I'm not so hot at adulting without him after 35 years together. Yeah. I would imagine that I would feel the same way, dear.
Wow. 35 years. I heard the name, male name, Victor. Victor. I'm curious if that connects to him in any way, or you. Victor. Would you understand the 3 boys? A little highlight around the 3 boys. 3 boys. And someone just had a birthday. Somebody just had a birthday.
Okay. She says it's not ringing a bell for her right now.
That's okay. Just take it with you.
Yeah.
Are you doing some work on your house, Kathy? That's random. Freedom. Oh, it's interesting. You know when you shuffle a deck and it's like the same card comes out?
I know. You feel like it's an error, but maybe it is. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. And I don't think this is by coincidence. And I feel like that, we all get brought here And the timing is always perfect. And it's so interesting how, the theme of the questions, sometimes there's overlap in that. And so
Mhm.
one thing I want to point out is that if the message feels like it fits for you, then it's for you. And so other people that are getting, the hits or the little postcards of a very similar, take that as a, because it's, we kind of focus on one person, if you will, or one spirit, kind of both, but they're all trying to get their message across. So in that, just be open to receiving other parts of other people's messages. I feel like he's telling me to say this. So, and it's the same thing. I pulled the abundance card. I pulled the
Oh,
freedom card.
wow.
And I'll get to the meaning of this, or my kind of feel around it, the rising above, and then the manifesting dreams. And it goes to that, there's so much of life to live, and there's such opportunity for you to still be in the joy and the things that bring you that light you up. And so, yes, we can grieve and be in that our whole lives. I understand that there's people that I want them back here.
Right.
However, we can still continue on our life, and that's the thing. It takes something. It takes something to sometimes just get out of bed. I get that. But that they are rooting for us, and they are encouraging us, and they are supporting us from the other side, and they're this close. And in that, they want you to keep dreaming. They want you to keep living. And what lights them up is when we're lit up, and we're not, saying no to the things that we really want to do, that we're still, living fulfilled lives. And so that's the energy. Be with the abundance and the freedom to not forget. It's not a matter of disconnecting from anybody. It's just being free to continue on with life. And so, yeah, the rising above and the manifesting dreams, I feel like it's a really strong, clear message. So,
Wow.
he has 3 little boys in our next generation coming on. Our son's 29th birthday is in a couple days. Aww.
And she needs to do work on the house.
Yes.
So I got this message, and I think it's so funny because it reminds me of something that my husband would say to me. You know what to do.
Oh,
You
we
know what
do
to
though.
do. We do
Yes,
know
we
what to do.
do.
Yes. And it's from Archangel Uriel. Trust your
Oh,
inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. Your husband's saying, you know what you're supposed to do. Yes, I know you miss me, but you know what you have to do. Wow. It's amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
yes.
Thanks,
And an early
Kathy.
happy birthday to your son.
That's
That's the
right.
thing. They just
Oh, to be
know.
29
Oh,
again. Oh,
I
yes.
know, right? Oh, good heavens.
Oh, thank you, Sharon Sipe, for putting up Kevin's webpage channel. I
Bless you,
appreciate it.
Sharon. She's so kind in that.
I
Thank
know.
you.
She's the best.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Kathy, thank you so much. Before we do this one, Christina, I just want to show you this. Christina said she had a reading from you today, and it was amazing. She loves you and for your messages, and she's still on a high from it. So you energized her. There you go. Yeah. Thank
Christina,
you
I
so much.
never share until people share, but it was
Share.
such a beautiful, we had a personal, like a one-on-one session, and that's the thing. I learned that it's okay to say what I get out of it as well. And
Right.
first and foremost, it's for the sitter, the
Of course.
client. But
Right.
what we're not excluded in that exchange ever. And it took something to actually acknowledge that, because I never wanted to take away, or an
Yes.
ounce of the attention.
No, I
But
know.
it's
Yep.
such a beautiful thing that the loved ones of other people are taking care of us and healing us and telling us what we need to hear. And in that, Christina, I just thank you so much. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. So
That,
thank you.
it's funny that you say that too, Kevin, because when I start any new class with any new students, I say, I'm your instructor here, but I'm here to learn from you. because there's
Yes.
nothing more important to me than to be open to knowing more, or trying to
Yes.
think of looking at something in a different way. And that's exactly what you're doing. And that's why you're not only healing yourself, you're healing them,
Yeah.
but you're healing yourself. So that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank
It's
you.
such a, yeah, the duality in that is so beautiful.
Uh-huh.
It
Yep.
gets me every single time. And then I go like, why don't like I act surprised that it
Well,
still continues to
that's
happen.
what
And it's
keeps you
like,
going,
oh,
though. Jean
it
does the same
does.
thing. She said, if she's still surprised by something that happens and just can't believe that. And I agree with that. It's amazing, especially when you hear something really weird and you don't not sure if you want to say it or not,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, well, I don't know what they want me to say this for, but yeah,
Yeah. It's
okay,
so
Jean.
true.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, oil painter. This is
Oh,
Diana. One of
perfect.
her household spirits turned on your dining room light. Do you want to know about that? Do you? Or
Amazing. Yeah. Is there a
yeah.
question? Like, can I come visit? I love it.
She actually lives in a really cool place. So yes,
Okay.
she's very, very cool. And so
Interesting. It
yeah.
feels like an older house. Like I feel like there's so much character to it. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if
Uh-huh.
if is it?
I think so. She
Oh,
she said that
interesting.
it was like she picked up her house in one section of the United States and moved it to this other section. She didn't, but it
Oh,
was like she did because it was so much of her energy that she felt in that place.
oh my
So,
gosh. Third time.
wow, Kevin. Wow.
Abundance
Abundant.
people. They want us to have the abundance. That's the thing. We've put things on hold. And
Yes,
in that, knowing or not, we've put our hope on hold. And we need hope as human beings.
we
To
do.
make it through, we
Yep.
need hope. And so the abundance of hope is here. And
Right.
we don't have to wait any longer. I just got the chills. We don't have to wait any longer.
Mhm.
We can have that now. And yes, we have to be safe and we have to, be responsible in all of that. But we do
Right.
not have to sacrifice, you know, experiencing and having the joy in our life.
Right.
I love
Right.
it.
This is
Abundance.
not life is not a dress rehearsal. We have to.
Right?
And what was the other one I really love? It's don't save something for a special occasion because every day is a special occasion. You never know
Yes.
when you're going to be gone. So yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That
Wonderful.
savor mentality.
Savor, savor. Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely. All right. So we got Kristen Louise wondering if we can hear from her great aunt, Essie? I don't know. Easy. It looks like Easy. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. These questions are great.
I love it. Um, what's interesting, when I see her eyes, I see your eyes. So I don't know if it's just the same color, but when I
Oh,
see your eyes, I see her eyes.
wow. Hmm.
Mm. Hmm. And you also have a brother, Kristen?
Hmm.
A brother. Yes, she had the blue eyes. Okay. Oh. Mm.
Did you get abundance again?
No, but I'm so tempted to use that deck again.
I don't blame you.
I switched.
I don't blame you.
um, and I see a not a dragon, a dragonfly around you, Kristen. So I don't know if you connect with the dragonfly or how you connect with the dragonfly or just watch for the dragonfly. But I'm seeing a dragonfly buzzing around you. I feel it's actually stuck in your house, but I see a dragonfly around you. And again, sometimes it's the medicine that the animals bring us. So if you feel called to look at that, look at that. Um, no brother. Is she acknowledging a boy? I feel like 2 years difference than you. So she's acknowledging just a little bit of it's like cheer up is the energy that she brings. So acknowledging something that you've been going through or have gone through. And so just the energy of the uplift, I heard cheer up. And then the cards that I pulled around it is the thriving, fulfillment, and going forward. So it feels really good in that. So it feels like there's been some like closure of something. And yeah, so there was impact from it, but that it's you can move on is the feeling that I'm getting from her. And I know that this was just I know that the last question was the oil painting, but I see like painting, and I don't know, I can't get if it's her, if it was your great aunt that painted or if you painted, but there's something about painting. And I don't think it's oil, but I only know really acrylic, but I see some kind of abstract painting. But again, just being in the fulfillment and really, it just feels like this standing firm in yourself and in your self-assurance, and that will really help you thrive in going forward. Is the feeling that she gives me. Yeah. That's what I get from that.
So Kristen and I pulled the peace card. Archangel Chamuel wants you to have peace that comes from remembering that only love is real.
I love that.
Isn't that beautiful? Whether it's on this side or the other. And look at the way the lights hit this thing. It's like
that's magical.
I know it really is.
Only that, but I think that's worth repeating. Only love is real.
Only love is real.
All the rest is an illusion.
All the rest is illusion.
Yeah. Only love is real. Yeah. That's a really powerful message.
It really is. It really is. Thank you.
Watch for the dragonfly. Watch for the dragonfly.
Watch for the dragonfly. Right. Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank
Kristen.
you for your question. Yes. All right. All right. So Flora wonders if we can get a message from her husband, Greg, who she lost 11 years ago.
Kristen, yeah. Caring for it, yeah. It's the role reversal, and it happens so often where, we were once cared for, and now we're caring for aspects of our family and friends and parents. And so, yeah, that really takes something. And so I could see that. Yep. So just a little boost from your great aunt. And so I love that. She comes with lots of cheer. Oh, these cards.
They're jumping again, That's amazing. Wow, Kristen, you're caring for your mother. Yeah, it does. It's circular.
It's circular.
Yeah. They take care of us when we're babies, and we take care of them when they go back to sort of that state that they need to be cared for. Wow.
Yeah. I'm aware of some pain in my head around as I connect with your husband's energy, Greg. I'm curious if you would understand that. 11 years ago. And then it's interesting. It's like cheers. So it's like, I don't know, just cheers. Like he's cheersing something, if this is him.
Did you used to click glasses when you were, Flora, when you were, together and going out to eat and things like that? Yeah.
It feels like almost celebratory around something, the cheers. And I know it's graduation, but graduation season. So Yeah.
Flora says no, but it might be something coming up too. You never know. Okay.
No to what part? Sorry.
No,
It doesn't
I
matter,
think the
but
cheers. Maybe the
okay.
cheers. Okay.
Mhm. Mm. So I keep seeing threes as well. So I don't know. I see 33, but I also January, February, March. So also March or both, but I keep seeing 3.
Okay.
What is around the 3? Highlighting the 3. I get this energy where there's like, I don't know if you are currently doing this, but standing firm in something where it's like you are really standing your ground or opportunity, or he's bringing the energy of that it's like there's something that you can really just anchor your feet in, and stand your ground around is what I feel. It's like, yeah, there's something that's either pushback but it's just a strong, like, standing your ground. Yeah,
So
that's
they
you.
did have a celebration. Her granddaughter just graduated from high school, so that might have been the cheers. That might have been the
Interesting.
cheers.
Yeah, it felt
And they have
celebratory.
3
Yeah.
daughters. So yeah,
Oh,
they have
okay.
3 daughters.
3. I
Yeah.
love it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then there's also March. There's something in March
Something
too.
in March. Okay.
And again, these cards don't come up again by coincidence. It's the inner peace, and
Ooh.
that's the thing, and that's the message. And they're just so clear in that they want us to feel at peace, not around them being gone, but just inner peace within our own lives. And that,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's like,
Okay. One of her daughters
yeah.
was born in March.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, interesting. And yeah, you don't have to go into detail, but if you're, and maybe it's just in the preparation, because sometimes it's just the glimpse of something that's, the energy is around you, and that's what I'm picking up on now, and
Yeah.
them bringing the information that there's just an area to stand your ground. So just take that with you. Yeah, just take that with you. Oh, and he's handing you a rose. He's like,
Oh,
wait a sec, but he's handing you a rose, and it's a white rose in particular, but he's giving you the gesture of the white rose.
beautiful. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. Wow.
He's like, wait a minute, I'm not done.
Some of them are hangers
Um,
on. Yeah. Then that's
yeah,
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, just in the energy of him, and I'm just sharing this. Uh, it feels like he was limited in communication. This is the feeling and this is maybe just from, not maybe from, this is his perspective, that the
Mhm.
communication, and they sometimes just mirror so that we can get the true essence of who they
Who
are
they
and
are.
who they, and so they do that where it's like, oh yeah, he is like that. So perhaps you would understand that part, but there you are.
Okay. Yes, because I would imagine that if you told somebody he's saying this and that, or he's acting this certain way, and he never did that on Earth, it would be hard to believe.
Right. Yes, there's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's here's the thing, the other part of that, Ellie, is so brilliant, is that, and this is it, where it's like we have to be reminded that this
Uh-huh.
is their perspective.
Absolutely.
And they
Yeah.
see, how we see ourselves is sometimes not how the world sees us. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
And there can be
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing.
Isn't it? Yeah. And you
It's
have to present it so that they can acknowledge what they were
yeah,
like
so
on
there's
Earth. Yeah.
understanding.
There's
Absolutely.
understanding. Absolutely. He's right.
Mhm.
So I pulled the nurture card. He wants you to nurture
Ah.
yourself. Archangel Gabriel says, as you nurture a child, you nurture your inner child, and both are important for you right now. So make sure you take time to take care of yourself, Flora. That's what he's saying in this card. And I want to say hello to Sharon, and I want to say hello to Lisa, both of them here today. Thank you
Hi,
for
Sharon and
coming.
Lisa.
Yes, we have a lot of people here. We have Melinda and Wayne Rich, I'm glad to see you. And Gypsy, I mean, everybody's here today. Thank you so
Aw,
much. Strawberry rhubarb pie. Oh,
love it.
so much fun. All right, so I got to give you a little background. Craig bought a 1930, I believe it is, Model A, and he was instructed by his, it was okayed by his guide, who happens to be Clara Bow, and she was a 1920s movie star.
Oh,
Yes, and so he feels very connected. She's one of his guides. Yeah, she's one of his guides. Anyway,
okay.
so I'm guessing that you want to know if the people that first had that car are happy that you own the car right now. That's what I'm
Okay,
getting. But
Allie,
yeah.
are the people who owned my 1930 Model A okay with me owning the car now? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
As you were talking, I saw this woman, and she like threw the boa around her neck.
Oh my God, yes. Oh,
I
yes. Yes. She was a silent movie star.
Is that true?
I think
Is
so.
this
I think
oh,
she was from,
interesting.
I think so. Craig, you'll have to tell us because you've seen probably more movies than I have. But did she wear a boa and, she was kind of flashy? I don't know. There you go.
That's interesting.
Oh, you want to know if all of them are happy? Okay.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Well, good, Flora. I'm glad. I'm glad you understood. Yeah. That's her. Tell her I named the car after her.
Mm-hmm. Flora, I felt assured that you understood, and it's perfect. You never have to go into all the detail of it. Sometimes things are just so personal, and I get that. I appreciate
They
you
are. This is such a
acknowledging it.
big
Mm-hmm.
public forum.
Yeah.
We understand. Yep.
Yeah. I can't shuffle these cards. It's not the abundance card, but it's people are going to be like, "Do you only have 3 cards, Kevin?"
I just keep pulling the same one. Why not, right?
It's true.
It's happened to me though, where I've had that happen too. Or I've pulled the same card as the reader, which is always a wonderful affirmation.
Yeah. I mean, I got very clear. I pulled 3 just to okay, 3 felt good. I got sacred reverence, and that's that's a deep,
they're
that's
happy with that.
a very deep bow. There's a purity card. And there is the security. So it just feels like yes, yes, and yes. So there's nothing but blessings around it. And because of the way that you honor and respect this material item, it just goes without saying it's a testament to your character and who you are. And the integrity is what comes up. So
awesome.
I think you care for it better than some of
them did. Yeah, they're going.
That's what I get. Yeah. So yes,
I have here that conscious steps were made for you to find this car, and a divine presence was the force of love and creation for it, and that it took care of an emotional desert that you were feeling, a feeling of inactivity and isolation, which would make sense around the COVID isolation that all of us had, and sitting around and, not being able to do the things we'd like to do. So, yep, I think we got a definite affirmation here that you got that car right. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, so
I have to add. I just heard one last thing about it. Because I saw the not the speedometer. What's that thing?
Odometer.
Odometer. I saw the odometer, and watch for the series of 9s. I heard.
Ooh.
Watch for the series of 9. That will be, if you need, because I feel like you need to see it to believe it. That will be your validation. Let us know.
Yeah. Let us know.
If you go out there right now and there's 9s, oh my God, I know.
That's completion too, right? Kevin, isn't that also completion?
Oh, yes. Good one. Yes, Allie. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Wow. Okay.
Misty.
We have quite a number of questions here, everybody. So I just want to say that Demi Hancock's, you would be the last one today because we're coming up on an hour. I think. Are you okay with going over, Kevin?
Yeah, a little
Or
bit
a little
is
bit.
fine,
Okay.
Elliot. Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Okay. But I would say this is that the questions are closed. Okay.
Sounds good. I'm so curious. I promise I'll focus. But the Model A, I don't even know what that looks like. But now I have to Google it.
Yeah.
I bet you it's a very cool vehicle.
Yes, it is. He sent me a picture of it actually, and if I can find it in my email, I'll send it to you so you can see it. Yeah,
I'd love to see it.
I know.
Thanks, Allie.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. She just looked her up and she passed in September, the 9th month. Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
Clara.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh. Wow. That's amazing.
Okay, well, I'm going to focus on Misty. Why am I at the Dairy Queen?
Oh, you're at the Dairy Queen. Oh, all right.
Oh, Misty.
Now I'm going to want to go get an ice cream
Why
cone.
am I at the Dairy Queen, Misty?
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's interesting. And I just looked at the clock and it's 55:55.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. 55:55 and the card is change and 5 is all about change. So Misty, I feel like this one's for you. And I'll deal with all those cards later because they went flying all over the place.
All over the place.
Actually, I need to see them. They're saying I need to see them. One sec. Be right back.
You take your time. It's fun. I do that all the time. 52 card pickup, you know?
Okay, 3 of the cards are similar to what we've had before, but I want to go with this change with you, Misty. And this feels like the energy that is coming forward for you at this time. So just a real acknowledgement of the change. And I take a deep breath and it's like, so being aware of your breath right now is really important. So staying in the present moment, and Jean and I were just talking about this. So I feel like it makes perfect sense that sometimes we can get so caught up in the past and the future that we forget to be present. And so even with all the change that's happening, it's like change can happen, and how we either jump on, the change or not, it's still going to happen. So there's times where we can just kind of step back and allow things that we can't control to happen and change and all of that. And there's times where we can jump into it. So, and be a part of it. So yeah, I'm never going to tell somebody that someone is their spirit guide or their angel. That's for you to discover on your own. But I do feel that with your cousin Brandon's energy, that there is this protection that he brings around you, and call on that. So not only ask for it, but give permission for him to be that support for you, especially right now. And then the last card was the inner peace card. And so we have that, at our access, we have it. So yeah, I'll leave you with that, Misty. And all the best.
Cool, Kevin. I got here, take back your power. Archangel Raziel says, use your God-given power and mention an intention to manifest blessings in your life. Just remember, yes, stay in the present moment, but it's just like they said in The Wizard of Oz, you always had the power.
Yes.
Had the power. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Jennifer, I don't know about let's see if we can figure it out. I've got to let my dog out. I'll be right back.
Do it. No problem, Ellie. Jennifer Hartman Cooper. Anything for me coming in? Interesting. Hello. Pardon me. What type of dog was that?
Well, I have a Sheltie. She's about 13 years old, and she's deaf as a stone, but she knows what time it is all the time when it's time to eat. And
Oh,
so I just
yes.
need to let her out. So, and then I got this one that's 10, and I just got this.
Aw.
She's a rescue, and she's just adorable. She's so much fun. I love her.
Oh,
I know.
lick, lick, lick. Aw.
Yeah.
What's her name?
That's Caramel. The other one's Bella.
Oh my gosh, so cute. It's a general way of asking, and that's totally fine. Instantly, I heard something about relationship and romance, and then I pulled a few cards. And the first card that I got was just ask. And so perhaps taking a look at an opportunity where you can ask for help in things. And sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, or we think we're going to get, we're going to be told no, or someone doesn't have time, or all of these things. But that we do have access to ask for help. And sometimes that can be, I think we actually just said that about with our spirit team. Asking them to help us is one part of it, but we also need to give them the permission. And it goes back to those points where it's like, they've told me a few times in people's lives where they will intervene to change the course because it's just not the right time. But the majority of the time, they need our permission to assist us. And so in that, and offering not only from people here in our earth plane existence, but also from the spirit world. So we have both as options to ask for help. And I didn't notice this one is the other card you were not alone. So in that, sometimes feeling like we are, and I think most of us can relate to times where we felt alone. The reminder and the energy coming in is that you're not alone in this. So perhaps that goes hand in hand with sometimes just asserting yourself. And I'm aware of the throat chakra with you. So a little more of the self-expression will be really fueling for you. So
there you go. Yeah, you can work on opening that up, Jennifer. By doing some visualization, wearing some blue, thinking about that. I get the sun. That. I say that things are going well for you. Happiness and success and clarity. I get divine masculine. So I don't know if you mentioned it right at the beginning that there might have been a relationship thing. So
interesting.
Yeah. And yes, Lisa, that is funny. She had things coming in and I had to let the dog out. Yes. At the same time. I love that. I love
so
your
funny.
I know.
Hi, Kaz.
It's Kaz. Yeah. We got this one and two more. Just so you know.
Sounds good. Oh, thank you. All good. And hi, Yanti.
Uh-huh.
I love that name. I'm always intrigued. Like the font that she's used is so pretty. I'm like,
everybody's intrigued by that font when she comes in.
Oh, yeah. It's so true. Yeah. Caught my eye.
She said, I think she said she got it from Instagram. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I think that's what she said last time, but I'm not sure. Okay. Oh, Mike from Manchester, England. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Yeah.
A Facebook person. The little icon there is Facebook. Yes. Okay. Kaz.
Yes, this is streaming on both.
Kaz.
Mike, we're happy to have you
here. I'm reading George, but I'm also there's another George. That's what I heard. There's another George.
Oh.
I'm not the only George. I'm curious if you'd understand that.
You're right,
I'm going to
Chris
say that.
Martin. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Aww.
That's so sweet.
So are you, Chris Martin. Sorry, I got distracted.
Oh, no. Easy to do.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So another, is she here or no? I'm not seeing it.
Cassie, you're here. If you're here, could you put it in the, oh yeah, she is. She's
okay, not sure about another George.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. There's another. Okay, this is okay. So that's where I was distracted because I was standing at the end of the road and I'm like, well, what am I doing here? and I heard looking for George and I was like, what? And I looked up and the street sign said George Street. And I was like, oh, so
Really?
I don't know if you understand that.
Wow.
But there you have it. There's another George. So just if you don't understand it, that's fine. Take it with you.
Liz Reeves says her grandpa's George too.
Interesting.
It's bouncing.
And is there another George? Liz, is there another George with that? Or a George Street? Oh my goodness. Okay.
George Street was the main street in his city.
Stop it. Stop it.
I love that. Wow.
He took me. I got nosy. I am like, well, I said, it's so funny because sometimes you have to, sometimes they will communicate and they will be really it. I'll go back to Christina because she said this. She said in the thing, so I'm not sharing anything that she didn't share herself.
Right,
and she said her grandmother directed the reading that we had, and she did it because I didn't have to. And I told her this. I said, your grandmother, I don't even have to ask her questions. She's just very fluid with the communication.
With the answers,
well, Grandpa George is standing there, and I'm like, so I get nosy, and I probably irritating him, but it's like, so he takes me by the hand, walks me down the street. I'm standing at the street, and he said, look up. And it was like, in that, it's like, oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks for that affirmation, Kaz. That's amazing.
Goodness.
That's pretty cool.
That makes me so happy. Okay, where was I going with that? Like a squirrel. I feel some attention around your heart. So I feel like there is some mending of bridges that has he's making me aware of your heart. And not in a health way. So just be clear in that. I'm not, I don't do the medical stuff. So
bounce. That's
you
amazing.
you can't make this up.
No.
Do I need to even go on? Oh, okay. So, and this card, I'm just gonna, because I'm losing my focus because I'm overwhelmed with the energy in a very good way. But this is the message: is that into you, into me, I see, and it's like his acknowledgement of, it's just all the feelings of the pride and the reverence and the just the joy and the appreciation that he has in you living your life. It's like that's what they're in that in a way that all the other stuff they can witness it, but they don't, they're not in that emotion of it. So feeling this, it just feels so good. So
wow, that's amazing. That's beautiful.
Yeah, healing of the heart. Interesting.
And I also get here that you should know you are safe. Archangel Michael says he's protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. But I pulled the heart. That was amazing. Wow. Right after I pulled the card and then you said it. It was like, wow. reminds me of Johnny Carson. He used to do this thing where he was the great Carmack, and he put
Yes.
something. I love that.
I loved it too. Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, didn't he wear the head wrap
Right,
thingy?
right.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh, it's so much fun. So Mike, okay, Mike. So Mike is the one that came on from Facebook, and he says that his best friend George was a senior nurse at Manchester, England, and he passed a few years ago. You have weirded me out. And so apparently he
Oh.
felt something else. There's another George here. And
Well, that's the beauty of it where they piggyback. And I mean,
right,
to have three people recognizing that name is
correct.
not by, and we just said that. So what they do is like when we put it out into the
Into the
communication,
atmosphere. Yeah.
we're their voice box. So it's like in
Right.
that we put that out because I think we just said that where it's like there's no coincidence that all the people that needed to be here, it's so
Yes, dropped in at
orchestrated
the
and
right time. And Mike, you just
it's
dropped
so
in here.
wonderful.
I know. You just dropped in here and the word George. Oh, that's amazing. You're absolutely right. Everybody that's here and they came at the right time. Yes, absolutely. Wow. That's amazing. Whoo-wee. I love it. I love it. Love it. Yeah.
So
Sharon,
good.
you're bang on, Kevin. Sharon says. That's awesome. We have this one here is from Sea Change Mix. And wonders if this was a message from a loved one. She woke up suddenly with a male voice saying, "We're going in. Activate rebirth."
Oh.
What did that mean? She said.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Who's Michael to you? Oh, okay. I'm curious if that resonates. Michael. Sea chain mix.
I understand, Mike. Yes. That's okay. Hi, Kevin. Kevin, Loving Vibrations is here.
Nice to see you, Kevin. Archangel Michael, yes, he does. You would understand it as Archangel Michael?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just clarifying.
No, that's okay. That's what Sea Change said. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And do you work with him? Like, are you consciously aware that you're working with him? The energy of Archangel Michael? Okay. This is interesting. So it feels like the rebirth card. And so sometimes this will come up where it's like, it'll be like and people are like, oh my gosh, I am not having a baby, but not in the literal.
Right.
But it feels at this point in your life, it does feel like, how we, our cells and they will regenerate. I think it's every 7 years. It feels like a new, like that in your energy. And the card that I pulled, I just pulled one card, and it's kind of like the feeling of that yin and yang, and it's the starting fresh card. So as I feel into that, it just feels like a rebirthing into different aspects of what you've been creating and manifesting and dreaming of, and all of that. Now is the time, they're saying. So really stepping into that, and it's present again. They're just like, like, be present. That's the thing. There's so many distractions, and I know it's tough. I get that. But yeah, just really standing in that newness. So I hope that resonates.
Awesome.
What did you get, Miss Allie?
Well, let's see what we got here.
Isn't Allie lovely?
Oh, you're so sweet. Brilliant idea. I get brilliant idea. Archangel Uriel, get your idea. Your idea is divinely guided. I'm sorry. Take action to bring it to fruition. So yes, absolutely. Do that thing. Wow. Yeah. So you've blown the doors off a number of people, and including myself. So that's all good. It's been quite a day. I'm just, I feel
Oh,
like I could go dance the jig somewhere, you know. I
do
feel
it.
like,
Do it. Oh my gosh. And do it and video it and
oh
show us
yeah,
all.
right. Oh my goodness. Demi, can you just give us the first name of your granddad, if you wouldn't mind, please? I don't know if that helps you.
I see
Yeah.
the H name and the M name. Lots of
Yeah.
grandfathers.
Yeah. A lot of
Like,
grandfather energy coming through, huh? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Yeah.
Stephen.
Oil painter, yes. Allie is the
Oh,
best.
you're
I
sweet.
agree.
So her grandpa's name was Stephen.
Stephen. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. You understand the H and the S names. H and the S names as well, Demi.
Jessica, we're not taking any more questions today. If we can get Kevin to come back, or please go over and sign up for his channel too. And
Thank
yes,
you.
thank you for putting the channel up, Sharon. And yes, we'll bring him back if he wants to come anytime. What a joy, I tell you.
I would love to. Mm-hmm. I would love to. I'm just gonna.
Thank you, Sharon, for bringing us Kevin on. You're the one who introduced us. So.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you understand those. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. I'll pull a couple more, but I pulled 2 of the same cards.
Again.
So healing the heart, and into me, I see. And I feel like it's the same message. It's so funny because it's like you just heard it, and I could say it again if you need it, but I feel like that's a part of it. I will pull you a couple of other cards, but I feel an attention around your heart. There's a lot of heart attention.
A lot of heart attention.
Oh. Yeah. I feel like he's making me aware of your connection to nature and the animals, and that this is him telling me this, is that it is your grounding. It's a way for you to really ground. And so he's saying, take your shoes off and go outside and stand on Mother Earth and allow that to rise up in you and give you he's making me aware that just he's lifting you up. And so he's literally wanting to do that in the ways that they can. And so you have to choose to participate in this part where you need to do the things that will ground you, is what he's saying. And that's within you, he's saying. So your connection to the earth and your connection to the animals will really uplift you in that. Yeah. He's really nurturing you. Was he more like fatherly? He gives me that feeling that he was fatherly. You would see him as that.
That's the way my kids saw my father. It was the same way because their fathers weren't. Yeah. I get here. He's saying, spread your wings, get out of your cage. You're feeling trapped. You need to move. You need to move and fly. He wants you to fly. He absolutely does. Yeah. Wow. We're done with the questions, but I did want to put this up because Mike just came in. He's the one with the friend that was Joy. And he had it looks like a near-death experience.
Yes. Yeah.
So I asked him if he would like to know any more about that, because he says he didn't see anything. And sometimes I don't think, you have to wonder, but he is a nurse. And you know what, Mike? I think that it's important to know that you have been divinely guided to be this nurse, to help people and assist people who have to make a cross. I think that's really just an intuitive thing. You help people cross over. You have the gift. You have the gift of healing. So, wow. Okay. Very senior nurse. Okay.
Now, I'm not telling you that this is going to happen this way, but just consider it, is that sometimes in the remembering, it has been with the NDEs that it is later on. And it's always timed in a way that, but I was tuned into what Ali was saying around that. And it, yeah, it's like what it did to you was, I feel like this elevation or this like activation in your energy where it's, you're still kind of, almost like coming to terms with it or identifying it or being familiar with it. But I feel like it's this slow and steady journey around that. And in the remembering part, there's a potential that you actually might have more memory of it, but
that makes
we'll
a lot
see.
of sense. And you know what it is, Mike? It's kind of scary. And I think you said that earlier when you were going, you guys are freaking me out. You're kind of scary, but it's not meant to be. But if we opened up completely and remembered everything that happened in there, it may have frightened you. It may have frightened you so you don't remember. But if you're ready, I think it will come through in its right time. And and you certainly fell into this rabbit hole at the right time when you came in, so it's up to you though. It's always up to you. It's not up to any of the rest of us. So whatever message that you get, it's a message for you, and you have the free will to do with it what you like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Everybody's just thanking you. Oh, and how
Aww.
important the messages were today. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Kevin. Oh my
It
God, I
was
had
so
so much fun.
wonderful.
Yes, it really was. It was awesome. It was just awesome. So thank
I
you so much.
appreciate it. I mirror back everything that you just said. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And thanks everybody, all of these
Yes.
beautiful
Thank you all.
people in the chat.
Yep. And thank you for Facebook people that came on as well and came over to see us. And thank you to all my subscribers. And I love you all.
Yes.
And have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.
We'll see you again. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.